I got to tell you, man, you drafted 380 pounds of human in 2 picks. And the way you win in the NFL is that you draft 300 pounds of human in 1 pick and another 280 pounds of human with the other. So they're missing a couple 100 pounds of draft capital yesterday. So that's the part I don't like. Here's the good news. I don't think it's their fault. You tell me they got what they wanted. I don't agree with you. This is not what they wanted. This is what they wanted given the opportunities available to them in this particular draft. Yeah. You can't tell me this is what they wanted. It's not entirely what they wanted. John Schneider was pretty darn clear yesterday that this was for talent, not for need, and that they know they still have. He said specifically yesterday, we know we still need defensive line help.
Yep.
Jalen Carter must have had the reddest of red flags imaginable for them to not take him at number 5.
And Detroit to not take him at number 6. And Las Vegas to not take him at number 7. And Arizona. I mean, I was convinced when Arizona came up to 6, like, all right, that's an Arizona. He feels like an Arizona guy. And even Arizona, right? Was it Buddy Nix who said, even Buddy Nix, like, years ago, they can get a quarterback. Even Arizona passed on him, Salk. In Philly.
So I'm not mad at them for passing on him. I get it. He was off your board. He had to be, or else you can't pass on him there. Because the nightmare scenario we talked about
played
out exactly. Different teams, different order, but exactly the nightmare scenario we talked about absolutely played out.
Did you know they were going corner 5, by the way? Is it fell and is it kind of trickled down?
I'll show you the text with my buddies. Hey, Salk, what are the Seahawks doing right now? Drafting some lame corner? I mean, like, that was my response. Jeez. Corners are lame at the number 5 pick.
Well,
but given the opportunity, there was no other option. Clearly, nobody else wanted the pick. Clearly, Jalen Carter wasn't an option. Clearly, there was nobody else with any amount of size. I'm only saying a lame corner, not because I don't think Devin Witherspoon's good. He looks awesome. Looks like a Seahawk guy. Yep. He looks great.
But Brock had a good point. Did you think it was lame when Sauce Gardner went at 5 last year?
Yes. Of course. They're the Jets.
People are pretty excited about that.
Who was? Who was excited about it?
A lot.
Not me. No. I wasn't excited about it.
Were we just talking to someone the other day that was like, if you could get a DJ Reed and a Sauce Gardner, like their defense was good last year.
Yeah, it's all right. Mm-hmm. But you don't get good because you draft a corner at number 5. You get good because you get elite defensive trench talent. Yeah, Quinnen Williams, why they're good, not Sauce stupid Gardner.
He helps an awful lot.
He's fine.
And this kid will help. But there was no Quinnen Williams. There was no big difference maker. I mean, there was not. And they're not till about 25, 26, unfortunately, in the late hours of the first round. And then you saw the run on them. And you saw about 5 of 6 guys were front 7 dudes. Now, there's still some, and in 6 picks, when the Seahawks pick this evening, and they're going to pick somebody with their hand in the ground. I would bet our picture money today. Yes, they're going to take somebody today that's got their hand in the ground. Because these 2 were the 2 best, and there's no arguing that. Not only at their position, but it goes back to what they did a year ago. They stood by what they did a year ago. Did they need Abe Lucas in the 3rd round to right tackle last year? Did they need Ken Walker in the 2nd round last year with Chris Carson and Rashad Penny on the roster? No. But they were the best players, and they're going to come in and contribute and be difference makers for us. And, man, the more that I listened to Pete, not that I had to be sold by Pete, John and the scouts loved this kid, thought he was violent. They have background with Brett Bielema, really close to him. But when Pete said he's Troy Polamalu.
I love it. Dude, I love the 2 guys. I love their 2 picks. I think they're both going to be excellent players.
You don't love the position.
I just don't love the position. And I want to really be clear about something. It has nothing to do with talent versus need. I am not telling you that they needed help on the D-line, so they needed to draft there. I'm telling you that those positions have more value. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it absolutely does.
It's a third category.
You would not have wanted them to trade down, just to trade down and keep trading down, and all of a sudden take one of these defensive linemen, Lucas Van Ness, or one of these guys at like 17 or 18.
Agreed.
And then have left their player that they love, right?
But you know what's hard, man? You know what's hard? Philadelphia took Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith. Who had a better draft? We're going to find out over time, right? I mean, and
they had their choice. They could have taken both of them.
And maybe they were in a unique spot to be able to do it because of some of the Georgia guys they had and the culture that they've built. So maybe they were just in a better spot to do it. But am I jealous this morning of the Philadelphia Eagles draft? Yes, I am. I would have preferred Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith. I'm not upset or in any way bothered by the players that the Seahawks got. They might be better than those two guys.
Yep.
But those two guys play premier positions, and I can't ignore that.
And they got work to do today. And a good thing that they've got some pretty good real estate to work with today. And still, a bunch of these players on my little list.
There's some good players.
Yeah, there's some good players. And there's going to be people that are going to threaten to be starters right away. These two will be starters right away. They'll be difference makers right away. And that's why they took them at 5 and 20 yesterday.
What a crazy busy